Hello everyone, welcome to another Power Talk with Archana. This is your platform to reach out to the stars. Plan your success with me, Archana, as I coach you and mentor you to achieve your success goals and help you carve your dream life as you've always dreamed for. Welcome to my world as I collaborate with business leaders from across the world and bring to you world class virtual and in person coaching and mentoring. Let's meet one such business leader today. Sandeep is a part of my professional network based here in Bengaluru, India. An engineer, a management degree holder, he gave into something really special for children. His love for this bundle of energy make him kickstart his own startup known for its flagship hardware and software platforms that help school students with little or no background with engineering or programming, yet they build their own gadgets and machines. An achiever of various awards, Sandeep has been busy setting up medical innovation creativity and entrepreneurship lab at Mumbai's JJ School, enabling MBBS students to use innovation in healthcare. More than 100 schools across India, close to a lakh of children are a part of BBOX labs today. With many more learning and development labs to his credit, Sandeep is scoring really high in the realm of virtual and augmented reality. Let's meet this young boy, Sandeep Senin. Hello, Sandeep. How are you doing?
Hi, Archana. Thanks for having me here. Hello, everyone. I'm doing good.
Okay, great. So his hello is quite expressive of the fact that he loves children, and that hello goes out to all the children out there. So stay tuned. All right. So, Sandeep, you are an engineer. You got into management degree yourself, but you head out for something so novel. Your world revolves around children. How did you decide to make them your spot?
Archana, there is a story behind how this happened. It was not really, I think I would call it accidental in some form. I used to tinker when I was a young kid. So I started my journey playing with gadgets, all that when I was 6, 7 years old. I had a neighbor of mine who used to have an electrical shop and he used to give me this small, I used to go sit with him, he used to give me this small motors, LEDs, I used to play with that. And then when I finished my engineering, I accidentally became part of Times of India's newspaper in education initiative, where I used to go to schools and interact with kids. I never knew I was good with kids till that point. And that is where, like, after each of my sessions, the students used to come to me and say, "Sir, where is your home? Give me a phone number. Can I come to your home on a Saturday, Sunday? Can you teach me to build all these things?" And this is where it started. And in one of the schools, I think it was Carmel School in Bangalore, where I had done this session and come out. It was fifth graders, and I think all these boys started coming me, "Sir, give me a number," and started pulling my shirts and all. Almost tore my shirt at that point of time. The security personnel had to come pull them all out, and that caught me that day when I was coming back home. Caught me thinking these kids have all these crazy ideas, and I started very early on. But the thing is that they don't have a mentoring ecosystem or a support or to do. And I used to say what my parents used to say when I was young, saying that when you're doing something else, no, abhi to padho, and then become an engineer or a scientist, fir ye sab karo. And I thought that I started young. Why is that I am telling the same to these kids? Because when they came, no, it incidentally came up for me, abhi tum padho. So I became an adult and asked them to keep studying. And then when I was going back home, I started thinking I am doing the same thing which my parents used to do at a point of time. So that's where this concept came in. I discussed with my a college buddy, and then we thought that why don't we create a platform. So that's how the origination of this idea started, and then it became a passion. Over a period of time we built into it. We built the platform, won some awards, took it to school. It was worked well there, built a curriculum around it, and then it happened.
Lovely, amazing story. Huh? So it's like Once bitten, twice shy. Actually, you've been so always being told to study here really hard and then achieve what you're looking for. Pursue your passion. Actually, you've actually developed your passion into something which is helping millions of children today. So very nice, amazing. So tell me, I mean, of course, we know that you've really worked hard. We know you've put in so many years of you've not taken up a corporate job. You're an engineer. You could have easily done well, amazingly well. You chose bbox to do this. I mean, how is bbox different from any other vocation or any other pastime or any other thing that keeps a child really busy today?
So if you look at it, Archana, it also evolved over a period of time. I think even today we are evolving. This COVID, we evolved again. So I'll tell you in glimpses of what majorly changed over a period of time. So when we started, we wanted students to do hands-on experiments, right? The idea was to see that they do stuff, but they do stuff which are smart. Like we didn't want mundane stuff, because there were companies like Butterfly Fields who used to do hands-on science, there were hands-on math, all these companies which used to do. We didn't want to focus there. We wanted to do, let students do innovation. Like, for example, there was this small kid who used to come, sir, I want to do an automatic vacuum cleaner. Can you help me do that? So the idea was, okay, for students who are able to do a little bit high tech, that platform was not there. So that is where we said, okay, we will help them with technology-based innovation. So we started purely as technology-based innovation. And then when we started going into schools, right, first it was okay, because there were only a few schools, the progressive schools and principals who actually looked at us and said that this program is very interesting. They gave us pilot, and the kids were all very happy. So that, okay, we will introduce this as part of a curriculum. And once we started introducing it part of our curriculum, after the first year, we noticed a lot of things. Like, they were boys and girls who were who were interested only in design. There were a few of them who were interested in entrepreneurship. Like, I remember a case where we did, and once we do this workshop, right, it is like a small, we could call it what do you call as a design thinking hackathon or something like that, but with a lot of materials and all, where a group of kids think about a problem they are passionate about. Then we take them through a structured process where we build it, and within 3 to 4 hours, they actually make a prototype. And then the teachers and the parents come in, say what they did, and these kids present it to them, because there is a lot of pride in what they do. And it's a lot exciting for the parents also, because till that time they would not have seen their kid creating something on their own. Most of them haven't experienced this.
True.
And for me, it was a natural process. I don't know. I enjoyed building stuff. Even when my mom, even when I was studying, when she says don't study, right, I used to scribble what is the next thing I'm going to do. And when she's not there, I used to take some dabbas and build it. So this is what I built. So this process is what we actually gave it to the kid. And what really happened is that there students, there was this kid, I was coming about the entrepreneurship story. Like, this kid who created an automatic, there is a video of that actually on YouTube, or I might share it with you sometime. So he created a massaging chair. So he said, after my games period, I become very tired. Then I have a theory period. I want someone to massage me. So what he did was, he converted the chair into a massaging chair using a couple of broken pipes, used motors and all, and did that. So this was one project. When this kid was showing, the teachers started in line and say, I want to try. See, massaging chair is something which everyone wants to try, right? So for the other projects where teachers look at it, this is good, you could have done this, oh, this is very good, oh, this is cute, what can you do extra? They were giving suggestions, no one was trying it out, right? In this case, people wanted to sit and try. So when the first teacher did, the second teacher did, the boy started seeing an opportunity, and the third teacher, and I was standing there recording this on video, and he started asking them, teacher, 5 rupees.
Wow.
So the third teacher, so I saw that was an entrepreneurial talent like there, and I thought this also must be part of the curriculum. So what really happened is, when we started working with schools in depth, we were there with the schools, and we started understanding every aspect of what the kids go through. So it just expanded. So we started offering design courses, which looks at user experience, game designs, how do you create architecture. We looked at even stuff like, okay, if you were to build a space shuttle, how do you do city planning? So then we looked at entrepreneurship, how do you plan? And we conducted entrepreneurship competition where kids come present. There is no panel, business panel and all. So we actually tell, like, okay, you have a business plan, you present it to your friends. If your friends, everyone says thumbs up, you have to turn back and everyone gives a thumbs up. We only measure that and say how much acceptability within your peers you're getting. So these kind of things went on, and then at the end of the year, they have a celebration called the Innovation Day. So where they come showcase all their talents, all this part. So it was been a journey where we built. So this was the niche which we built. We are not talking about, and initially when you see the projects, people started misunderstanding as, oh, tum to robotics class kar rahe ho. This is what you focus on, because of course kids love building robots because it moves around, right? So it was part of it, but what we holistically focused was looking at building the creative thinking skill, the critical thinking skill, and the logical reasoning. We also looked at a communication and collaboration skill, how they communicate with their team, how to look at empathy, how do you sit in the customer's perspective and understand stuff, and also look at how do you articulate your stories. Because one of the biggest challenge we saw in the classroom when they were presenting, right? Some kids were brilliant in their thinking, but they will come and say, okay, this is my innovation. No one really understands what is the story behind, how is the impact, all that part of it. Then we started teaching them storytelling, articulation, how do you have to present, how do you show a battery, but show them as though this is the battery is new. And I think we used to show them Elon Musk video and say that when Elon Musk launches a battery, he launches it as the next big thing. It's a battery. So what is new about it? But still, he launches it like that. So we started teaching them that. And this is how BBOX Innovation Labs is. So what we look at is building students from a 360-degree view where they get exposed to multiple things. What they want to do might be different, but we expose them to almost all aspects of it. So in a team, maybe one is only decided in design. So we will have 2 boys, 2 girls, or 3 boys, 1 girl, all that. And maybe the girls are looking at building up and making it look aesthetically pleasing. The boys are only doing hard constructions. And maybe there is a boy who presents articulation and the girl says, you are a crap, I will do it. So this is a combination of peer learning, all that which comes together and beautifully presents it across. And they have this pride that it is not the teacher's idea, it is their idea they came up with. And they culminate into something which they show and finds validation.
Wow, amazing. Absolutely superb, Sandeep. I wish I had met you when I was a kid. I would have been a trillionaire by now. Amazing.
I wish I had something like this in school too.
Yeah. We would have collaborated. One lovely. I think this is something really amazing. So it's not a normal robotic class. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about developing that skills of collaboration, networking, helping children work on their websites, blog writing, expression. I think this is very important to be able to present. I think that is what is it all about today. You know, if you work on something and if you cannot tell the people what you have worked on, it doesn't work. It needs to reach out to the right audience. I think, Sandeep, you're doing a wonderful job out there to helping people understand, children understand how important it is to reach out to the people with the right communication, entrepreneurship skills, and to be available on different social media handles, helping them develop websites, write blogs about what they are doing. I think this is really amazing. But, you know, Sandeep, all that and done with, today we are in a virtual world. I have been given trainings all my life, you know, but it used to happen, you know, one-to-one meeting company employees. But even today, I'm doing it virtually. So your kind of setup, you know, where, you know, you need people, children to understand, feel products, you know, there's so much of science behind it. How are you helping them now? Because everything is virtual today.
So yeah, so the thing about one thing nice about our company is we are quite flexible for adoption. And I think at the average age, see, we are over 100 people. And I think if you look at the average age of the company, it's around 20 to 23. Now, a vibrant set of people. Of course, we have 4-5 of them who are seniors who have understood the industry a little bit. But then if you look at the rest of the gang is all very young, which means it's easy to mold them into something else altogether. So when the COVID happened, I think we have been thinking about doing digital, because all our clients were through schools, right? We were doing B2B2C kind of thing. So we were reaching out to the kids because they were available in schools, and we thought, and they have been, see, and in our cases, right, like even if 10% of the students say no, or if a parent says no in a school, we would not be able to run the program. So which means we are not reaching, and after we giving presentations in some of the schools, a lot of parents reach out and say, see, I want the program, but if the school is not taking, my kid is not getting it also. But we are not ready there. So, but I think COVID forced us to start, and we started an online innovation program where we looked and modularized whatever we had. And the second problem we had was, see, we use a lot of materials. There is a physical lot of materials which is given to the kids to build, because it's a very hands-on. We call it the 5 senses activity, because you
Yes. You are still, please send him a message.
Hello, I think it got
Yes,
cut.
no worries. Okay.
So should I continue?
Yes,
Yeah.
continue.
Okay. So if you look at it, what we were doing is we modularized the entire thing so that, and material delivery was a problem. So shipping was not there. So everything was on lockdown. So we thought that, okay, what could we do using things at home? So we looked at biotechnology and said that, okay, what all in biotechnology can we do sitting at home? So, oh, okay, oil is there. So let's use oil. Okay, there is some flour. So let's use flour, and then let's teach them DNA extraction. Oh, there are plants. Okay, let's use plants. And then we looked at, okay, what can we do in biomechanical or biomedicine? Okay, we can use mobile phones
Amazing.
for doing stethoscope. So then we came out with a set of experiments which we modularized and started delivering online. So we turned around in April, May, we did a few pilots, and it was reciprocated well. All the kids enjoyed. And in fact, typically we designed the session to be 1 hour, but the session went on for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And the parents initially, most of the time, and they got so fascinated. Like we had a session on agriculture. All the moms used to sit and watch along with their kids and say, oh, ek kar sakta hai. So this is what. And you'll see in feedback, parents
Yeah.
came back and said, this is something which kids, though fundamentally they somehow know the knowledge, they never apply into real world. And they said, even as parents, right, we are blind to so many things. So these sessions were very important. So now what we are trying to do, and we also saw the success of the White Hat Juniors, where all the parents were willing to pay a certain premium for doing things apart from the curriculum. So we thought it is high time for us also to start offering innovation classes sitting at home. And hopefully, I think the what do you call, the lockdown is opening up, and I think when the delivery starts, we also want to start shipping them materials so that students can build their own labs in their home and start becoming and
Wow.
building stuff which they like. So maybe a boy wants to build up mechanics, he will pick up a lot of mechanical kits and starts making, or if someone wants to do biotechnology, they will pick up relevant kits like that and start doing. So we are looking at an exciting phase where I think we are also looking at Atmanirbhar Bharat been coming out. And if you don't have a self-reliant kids who, and it is not just about making a set of software. I think if you look at what we import from China, there is a lot of physical stuff which we import. It is not the software which we are giving them money for. It is actually for a physical tools. And I think we need to build that capability. And I think if we were to scale well, and if we get good partners to handhold and take this initiative to a lot of places, I think the next generation, which is going to come after 5-8 years, will be building a lot of stuff from India. And I think that's what gets us excited. And we think our online program should be able to get us that scale, because physically we can go to n number of schools, because there is, but virtually I think we can reach almost a lot of places.
Sandeep, I must congratulate you. I think this was really impressive. This really shows your love for what you're doing, your passion about what you really love doing, and especially the children who are a part of your world. I mean, even the lockdown didn't hold you back. You are still in the game with offering them something which they can use from within their homes and still keep experimenting and keep evolving and remain their, junior engineers, if I can call them. Amazing. Would you like to give us some examples for parents and the community at large to understand what are those experiments? Any one experiment that you would like to quote here?
Sure.
From kitchen to being an engineer,
So
kitchen ingredients to being an engineer.
So, like for example, if you look at mechanics, right? So you're talking about what we deliver. So what really happens is we take up a topic and teach mechanics using cardboards. So they take a cardboard which is readily available, and then what we teach is how do you actually put two gear mechanisms together. So what the kid does is, okay, he understands the basics of gear mechanisms, and then he understands, okay, what torque happens, the speed, when the speed varies, how the power varies or the torque varies typically. And once he understands that mechanism, what we really ask him to do is, now can you think about a project which you want to do using the principle which you learned? And the kids then try to create a game out of it. Sometimes it might be a slingshot, or it might be a gun which using a pulley mechanism. Now what they do is they might not use the gear which we expect them to like for example, most of the time we looked at gear mechanism for power transmission, but the kids use gear transmission to even lock things in place. So there is a locking mechanism for a gun which is used for a gear, and the boy shows saying that, okay, look, I have created now this gun. When you press it, this gear mechanism creates the locking which then throws it off. which the mentors also we never thought about. Okay, gears can be used as a locking. Of course, it is there, but the thing is, we never taught
Yeah.
him. But
Right.
then something which inspired him, he said, okay, oh, this is what I take out of it. So this is the nice part about innovation classes which we do. Because what happens is we teach them one thing, we orient them towards other thing, but their dreams, they take it differently and then try to apply it on something which they are passionate about. So this was one example.
Lovely. So, being at home also without your support, your mentoring children with just little bit of information from your end can make things, can innovate things, be at home. That is amazing. Really lovely. Also tell me, Sandeep, we see there is a lot of passion there. We see there is a lot of groundwork that needs to be done to make it available. You need a lot of patience to handle children because they are unique in their own way. How has your work helped parenting? How have parents' life been made simpler because of your intervention, your involvement in their lives?
Tough question. So I think you should ask this question to parents because I think each one of them will look at it a little individually. Because whenever we talk to parents after the session, right? So I think one of the first thing which they tell us now, they say is we want to engage the kids in two ways. Either somehow occupy them, and can they be out of the computer for some time, or just being out of the screen for some time. So these are two challenges which they have. And when we do, especially with hands-on workshop, which are like this, right? Like for example, when we do an tech workshop, we teach them how do you grow plants without soil. Now, the thing is that this is sometimes they wouldn't have experienced. And what they do is that in the process, right, we only teach them the fundamentals, which requires 1 hour or something like that. But we have seen kids and the parents have come back and said, my boy has been involved for this for the past 6 hours. And he's been into it. And I got engaged for it 2 hours. And he's saying, I was not supposed, but you are also giving free teaching for me, because they are so enrolled in doing that. And I think this was almost common, where parents have said that their kids were involved even much longer after the sessions have been completed. And I think these are two things which you can take, because you are not just getting stuck. Especially, of course, there are sessions which you do on gaming and all, where kids spend on screen time. But I think a lot of our projects which are exploratory or hands-on in nature, you don't have to do anything on screen. So that helps them fundamentally to connect with nature. We think that is good. They build up plants which they are, see, when you build something, right, you become attached to it somehow, even if it is a plant. If you grow, right, it's like a baby. And I think that part of nurturing is also something which you can't put into someone. So I think these are multiple facets which parents have looked at it, but each one takes it with their own. As I told you, right, the example of gear which I told you, I think of the 20 students who are sitting or would have gone through the course, like each one would have taken different things. Maybe yes, a few of them would have looked at it using the exact same mechanism, but 3 of them would have totally thought about something else which has nothing to do with mechanics. So I think, and the parents, when they look at it, and some of them, it is also nostalgic. They said that, oh, you brought me some of my old memories back. So I think it's a combination of what they did. They were able to engage the kids. They were excited. They learned a lot. So I think it's a mix of things. So I think ultimately they're looking at engagement. The first thing when we ask them, why do you want to sign up for the session? They say is, we want to engage my kid somehow. And we think your course is unique. So let's try it out. This is how they start. But when they end, I think they get various other things.
Yeah, I totally love it, Sandeep. I think this is really amazing. Today, we are looking at, reducing the screen time. I remember I used to, maybe just spend few hours, but today I'm spending hours and hours of screen time. And this really gets tiring out beyond a certain point. And I think I love the idea of, teaching children about hydrophilics. I think this is amazing, and they really keep themselves busy, with that, without the intervention of any adult helping them out and sorting it out for them. This is really amazing, Sandeep. Sandeep, tell me one thing. You're doing so much for children. You love children. You have really, given a very holistic approach to your company. It not only talks about innovation, it talks about their entrepreneurship skills, about the communication, about resilience, about so many things. So it is very, very holistic approach, right at the very, I mean, they're not even, they're in their teens, literally, So I think there's a lot of learning for them. What is that one thing that makes Sandeep happy beyond all this? What is it
Building
that
stuff.
gives you a good night's sleep? Sorry?
I think when I build stuff, I think that's when I'm happy. I can't sit idle. There is something. I'm either drawing stuff on sheet of paper. You'll see I would have filled up at least 400, 500 pages of sheets of drawings of stuff and all. And the second stuff is I keep building. You'll see my bench has PCBs, my broken items, wires, all this stuff. So I think that keeps me going. Of course, there are operational stuff. I love talking to people, listening to problems, troubleshooting, all that part of it, because when you run a company and when you reach a certain scale, that becomes part of it. But I think whenever you have a problem and then you sleep over it, something comes up, I think that gives you the what do you call it, the kick, if you call it.
Yeah. Sandeep, Bbox is a part of your life, I know. You have totally weaved it into your system, quite an inseparable, the two of you. But if we were to keep aside Bbox, who is Sandeep?
Okay, see. I think if you ask me that, I think there is a spiritual angle to me. I love looking at the old yogic sciences. I'm a meditative person. I loved exploring ancient history of India. I love the Mahabharata. Anytime I'm disturbed or want guidance, I basically look at what Krishna had told. I think almost all life's learning I get out of it. So that's one part of me. I am I don't know, there are various other dimensions, but I think this is something which a lot of people do not know.
Yeah, good. So very happy that you shared it with us. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for speaking to my audience. And I can really see where is this resilience, where is this balance in your life coming from. Thanks to Krishna for doing this to you. And thanks a lot for speaking to my audience. I'm sure this is going to be one hell lot of a conversation of interest for all the parents out there to know that there is a lot that can be done to keep children stay involved, benefit, and keep growing. Thanks a lot, Sandeep. Have a wonderful life. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Archana, for the time. Thanks, audience. And I think with all the current things which you're looking at, the national education policy, the Atmanirbhar, it is for us to see that we create this impact and create the next generation. It's not easy to create an Atmanirbhar Bharat. I think all of us have to play this role. So I request all of you to see that we all play our roles, and all the best to each of your journeys. Thank you so much, Archana, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful life. Bye-bye. That was Sandeep Senin for you, the guy who's hell-bent on creating Atmanirbhar Bharat. He's all about helping children evolve, innovate, and still stay absolutely occupied and hooked on to keep working and engineering their minds to keep innovating, learning, and grow. I hope what he shared with you, how to keep your children more involved and engaged in activities that help them grow, will really help you involve your children in more and more novel things. I hope this really helps you. I wish you all the best and stay tuned for more.